Get ready, because this haul is a chunker. Hi, welcome to my March book haul. I'm not even gonna, or February book haul. I'm not even gonna tell you the amount of books that I have here. We're keeping that a secret because it's too many. So let's get started. So first off this month, I picked up all 4 books in the new covers of the Lunar Chronicles. So I've never owned these. So like, don't get, oh, come closer, sorry. Don't get too shitty with me because like, I've never owned these before. So I've read the first 3, so only one's going on my TBR shelf, so that also helps. But we have Cinder, look how pretty that is. Scarlet, now you're too close, I feel like. I'm bad at judging this. Scarlet, Cinder, yeah. And Winter, which I haven't read yet, so that's going on my TBR. Those are obviously sci-fi retellings of famous fairy tales. Everyone's heard of the Lunar Chronicles, right? Next up we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which is a new release in the US, but I think it had been out a little bit in the UK. This is it says the case is closed. 5 years ago, schoolgirl Andy Bell was murdered by Sal Singh. The police know he did it. Everyone in town knows he did it. But Pippa Fitz-Amobi isn't so sure, so she chooses the case as her final project. This is told in mixed media, which is what caught my attention. Or in mostly mixed media. Where are the mixed media elements hanging out? I thought there were heaps, but now I'm like having trouble finding them. Like this one says like production log entry and stuff like that. So that's what got my attention. Little cool things. Mixed media formats are like my jam, and I love a murder mystery, so I'm excited to get to this one at some point in the future. Picked up a couple of books secondhand. I'm really struggling at this today. I picked up a couple of books secondhand. First off, we have Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. This is a contemporary feminist story, and I got it super cheap. Viv's mum was a punk rock riot girl, inspiring Viv to create Moxie, a feminist zine that she distributes anonymously to her classmates. That's about all I know. I know it got a lot of buzz when it came out, and I'm excited to read it at some point. The other one I picked up secondhand was The Disasters by M.K. England. This is a sci-fi, and I believe he gets kicked out of the Station Academy, but his one-way trip back to Earth is cut short when a terrorist group attacks them, and him and 3 other washouts escape, and they're the sole witnesses to the attack. That sounds like great fun. Love a sci-fi drama. I'm excited to read this. My partner Linda gave me this. She was on a Booktopia shopping spree, and she just was like wanting to buy stuff, and then they all arrived and she's like, I don't need all of these. So she gave me this one, which is The Complete Works of William Shakespeare in this lovely leather-bound edition. Thanks, Linda. You didn't need to, but I'm not gonna say no. I should actually unwrap this from its plastic casing. It looks a bit sad being wrapped in plastic. It has lovely gold foil covering and also gilt pages, and it's huge, and the writing is literally like Bible style. It be tiny, but hey, hopefully it's good. I've read some Shakespeare, but not all of it, so hey, I have this now. I picked up Mitosis by Brandon Sanderson, which is the novella that bridges the gap between Steelheart and Firefight, and I've already read this. It's really short. This has a preview for Firefight in it. It's like 30 pages, the actual like Mitosis story. But hey, it has a matching cover to the series, and so I got it. Another one I've already read, this is The Deep by River Solomon. This is a fantasy alternate history where mermaids exist, and they are the descendants of the babies of pregnant slaves thrown overboard from Africa to the Americas. And this was really impactful. Check out my wrap-up for more about it. But I got this and I've read it. Another one I've read already. We have Upright Women Wanted by Sarah Gailey. This is her newest release, and it is a Western with lesbians. It says, fight the state, be a librarian, and it also features a non-binary main character, and it was just so good. It was so good. I also picked up The King of Crows by Libba Bray, which is the 4th and final book in the Diviners series. I adore that the Australian covers continue to be in this format. Like, it makes me so happy that they didn't like switch it up, because the American covers are shit, if I might say so myself. I have already read this. You can learn more about my thoughts on it in my wrap-up. This is a fantasy, 1920s historical fantasy featuring like a more kind of paranormal, I would say. I also picked up The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. This is the 3rd and final book in the Truly Devious series, which is a contemporary murder mystery featuring Stevie Bell, who wants to solve the crime of the century, and they're all at this boarding school for gifted children or gifted teens, and it's super dramatic and super fun, and I've already read this as well, and you can check out my wrap-up. We also have Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman, which is obviously the 3rd book in the Heartstopper graphic novel series. These comics are also available online on Tapas, and they are so cute. Absolutely adorable. Again, I've already read this. They follow Nick and Charlie, who are side characters in Solitaire. Some books I haven't read yet. We have The Wolf of Orin by K.S. Veloso. This is the first in a series called The Chronicles of the Bitch Queen, and it is a high fantasy. And apparently something that's really unique about it is that the main character is married with a son, so it's kind of like a little bit more mature female character than other stories. This was originally self-published and then got picked up by Orbit, and I'm incredibly excited to read this. I'm hoping to read it in March if I can get around to it. One that definitely is on my March TBR, we have Ink in the Blood by Kim Smeshkal. This is a queer tattoo-based fantasy. I love this cover. I think it's one of the most stunning covers that I've seen, and like, oh, I love it so much. I'm incredibly excited to read this. I think it's just going to be so good. I don't really know that much about the details of the plot, but I have a feeling they tattoo themselves and it can help them tell the future. And there's a traveling theatre group. I don't know, it sounds so good. It sounds so good. I'm also definitely going to be reading in March The Sisters Grimm by Mena van Praag. This is a presumably Grimm fairy tale retelling featuring 4 siblings. It says 4 sisters, 3 will live, 1 will die. I'm hoping this is really beautiful. Oh, was that an illustration? Or did I just imagine it? Well, there was. I didn't just imagine it. I don't know how regular these are, but I just spotted that. Oh, there are others. This is also illustrated. I didn't know that till just then. But I love this cover. It's so beautiful. I also picked up The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics by Olivia Waite. This is a queer Avon romance featuring 2 lovely ladies, and it's historical, and one of them's a French astronomer. Science, love it. I also picked up The Throne of the Five Winds by S.C. Emmett. I'm not sure if this is actually a translated work or if it's like a fake translated work within the context of the narrative. But this is a fantasy, and it's chunky. It's got footnotes, which I think are about the language. It's like translator's notes, but it's talking about, like, I don't know. I feel like it's fake translated rather than actually translated. Not 100% sure. The series is called Hostage of Empire. And it says on the back, 2 queens, 2 concubines, 6 princes, innumerable secret agendas, a single hidden blade. I don't know. Pierre ordered this. She hadn't even read it, and she was talking about that in one of her videos, and I was like, screw it, I'm getting it right now. So I really am excited about this. Oh, and this is written by a woman. I think the actual name is Lilith St. Croix, or at least that's the copyright name. Oh yeah, so it must be a fake translation, because she lives in Vancouver. Oh, and there's a excerpt from the next book in the back. Cool. I'm so excited. I also picked up Armistice, which is the sequel to Amberlow, which I read at the end of last year, I think, and really enjoyed. So I thought I better pick up book 2. This is a Roaring 20s style fantasy without really magic. It's more just, it's an alternate world. and I did really enjoy book 1. I think I gave it 4 stars, and but it did have a slow patch, and I'm really excited to see where book 2 goes. A new release that came out, I think, at the end of January. This is The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep. It follows, it says, H.G. Parry's sparkling debut is the ultimate book lover's fantasy. So he has an unusual ability he can't control. He can bring characters from books into the real world. I just finished reading Library of the Unwritten when I got this, which I thought really spoke of like similar themes, and I loved that book. This is also blurbed by a bunch of authors I really like Alex E. Harrow and Kat Howard, and it just looks really good. It is a bit chunky though. It's like over 400 pages of tiny text, but it also looks vaguely mixed media. I don't know, I'm excited for this. It looks really good. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I'm excited. A book I am incredibly excited about, but literally who knows when I'm going to get to it, because it is a beast. That is Lady Hotspur by Tessa Grattan. This technically came out in January, and it literally only just arrived at my bookstore days ago. They'd been having a real hard time trying to get it in. This is a companion to the Queens of Venice Lear, and their historical fantasy Shakespeare retellings. And this one is Henry the something, the one that features Lady Hotspur or Hotspur. I can't remember exactly which one. I think it's a Henry that it's based off. The first one was based off Macbeth. I can't remember anymore, but they're Shakespeare retellings in historical fantasy settings. Another book that just came out, we have All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace, which is a, it says princess, pirate, stowaway, mermaid. The crew makes the queen. So it has pirates and mermaids, and I've been hearing people say that it's really original, and I love this cover. I can't remember what else sold me to it originally, but I am definitely keen to read this at some point in the near future. Belle Revolt is another new release. This is a French style fantasy, and we follow 2 girls, one who really wants, it says Emily de Marais is more at home holding scalpels than embroidery needles, and Annette Bauscher is overlooked and overworked by her family, wants more from life than her humble beginnings, and longs to be trained in magic, so they swap lives. This also features an asexual, aromantic character, or maybe just asexual, and maybe some trans non-binary characters. I can't remember exactly, but it's got a lot of queer representation. I do remember, who was saying that it was promised as a female romance, but it's barely a hint, but there's a lot of other queer representation, which made me still super excited to read it. Then we have Seven Deadly Shadows by Courtney Alameda and Valeen E. Matani. April sent this to me as a gift for Christmas, but it took a while to arrive. This is a Japanese-inspired fantasy, and I think it is a like ninja kind of story. I don't know. I'm excited to learn more. It looks really entertaining, and I've definitely heard some good things about it. So oh, there's Shinigami, if that's something you're interested in. I hope this kind of reads like an anime. That would be real cool. Also on Pierre's recommendation, I picked up Blood of an Exile by Brian Nasland. This features a main character who apparently is super sassy, and he was supposed to die. He was caught attempting to assassinate a fellow noble, and instead was given the harshest sentence, a command to slay dragons. But normally that would result in someone's death, because obviously dragons are hard to kill. But somehow he becomes the best dragon slayer of all time instead, and like doesn't die. This is actually not as long as I would anticipate for a fantasy. It's only like just 400 pages, and it looks really entertaining. Apparently it was super fun, so I'm excited to pick it up. And finally, a book that just came out this month. This is Heart of Flames by Nikki Palpretto. It is a beast, and it is the sequel to Crown of Feathers, which I enjoyed, but it was a little bit info dumpy, but I thought that might have been a combo of debut author and first book syndrome. So I'm really excited to see where book 2 goes. I'm pretty sure it's just a duology, but like, how thick is this? It's like 800 pages. It might only be 600. It's like 630 pages. Like, that's huge. Anyway, I'm not sure I'm going to get to this, but I'm going to try and prioritize it and read it over the next couple of months. So keep an eye out for this one. Those are all the books that I purchased or somehow acquired in the month of February. Yeah, it's big. I've made a bit of a mess, but I'm gonna go put them all away now. Let me know what you purchased in the month of February or got your hands on, and let me know if you're interested in any of these. I'd love to chat about them non-spoilery in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon in another video. Bye!